As more and more episodes of Amphibia have aired, I've been falling in love with the show that much more. One of the big trends that I've been seeing in just about every episode is Anne trying to teach the planter family about earth culture and the planter family teaching Anne about frog culture. Watching both parties be exposed to these things and see how they react to them has been a really great treat, especially when it comes to Hop Pop and earth culture. For instance, when Anne showed the planter family the show's Suspicion Island, Hop Pop has his stereotypical old man personality in the sense that he likes how things were in the quote-unquote good old days a lot more than how things are now, and is very pessimistic when it comes to not only Anne's taste, but his grandchildren's taste as well. However, after actually giving the show a shot, he actually loved it, so much so that he binged an entire season overnight and it drained Anne's phone battery because he was watching so much. Throughout the episode, he continued to put on a lie saying he hated the show so he wasn't the culprit, that is, until he realized how much the whole debacle was affecting the three kids. They were at each other's throats, accusing each other, trying to figure out who did it, and Hop Pop realized holding it in was just making things worse. Even though Sprig and Anne are the ones who are best friends, I high-key like the dynamic between Anne and Hop Pop more because of the quality, gradual development between the two of them. Hop Pop started off as not really being too keen on Anne and seemed to only allow her to stay at his house because of how badly Sprig wanted to help her, but as time went on, they began to form more of a bond with one another. The episode Stakeout was a perfect example of this. Anne and Hop Pop were at each other's throats for a good chunk of the episode until Sprig set up that plan to where the two of them would be forced to work together, and it actually ended up working, just not in the exact way Sprig intended, of course. Even though Anne and Hop Pop weren't technically in any real danger at the time, they thought they were, and they both defended each other the entire time rather than abandoning each other for their own selfishness. Hop Pop's respect for Anne grew a lot since this episode and carried on well in episodes like Breakout Star, when the whole town was obsessing over Anne's zits, which they thought were warts. Even though Anne was letting the fame get to her head a little bit, Hop Pop kept the mindset that if one of your own makes it, you gotta, support them no matter what, because deep down, they're still the same person inside. Same person as in before they, became famous. He's really, began to treat her kind of like this temporary foster daughter and, really considers her part of the family now, and it's really, really touching. The dynamic between them is just great. Sorry I went on about that for a little bit, but I felt like it was important to go over that due to the fact that Anne's relationship with the Flanters became strong enough to the point where she felt like she could trust them enough to show them the music box that transported her to Amphibia in the first place. Hop Pop took a look at it and said he'd never seen anything like it before, but that didn't seem to be the case, because a few seconds later it cut to him inside his office reading a book with a picture of the box, and he said, "It's just as I feared." The box is called the Calamity box, and the book is making it out to be something incredibly dangerous. So I guess it being named the Calamity box is quite the fitting name. Now, other than the vague warnings from the book, there isn't a whole lot to go off of because a lot of the text is just kind of scribbled in. So we're not really sure what specifically makes the Calamity box so dangerous. This is just a shot in the dark, but the word destroyed is covering the skull of a frog, which could indicate that if this thing is used in a malicious manner, it could mean the entire species of frogs living on Amphibia could be destroyed. Maybe our old jail warden friend plans to get a hold of this thing and use it to rule Amphibia. Interesting. Also, the page in the book seems to be putting emphasis on the three crystals welded into the box as well. Like, it shows like three crystals separated from the box and they're kind of shining. Which I'm sure everyone can agree at this point that each of those three crystals represents one of the three human girls teleported to Amphibia, and the three of them are going to need to accomplish some type of goal together in order to get out. That's what the general consensus is right now, and I believe that as well. I believe the three crystals on the box are grayed out for the time being because all of the three girls are in completely separate locations on the island, but once they reunite, the colors should be restored in theory anyway. At first I thought the colors of the crystals represented each girl's skirt, but that wasn't the case because their skirt colors didn't match, but I'm still sure that each crystal does represent one of them. Mini spoilers ahead, but the episode descriptions for the rest of Season 1 have been put onto Wikipedia, and it states that Sasha and Anne will potentially be reuniting at the episode Prison Break or the episode Reunion. I'm saying potentially in both because in the final episode, which is titled Reunion, the synopsis is Anne will be reuniting with a quote-unquote friend from home, which could be Marcy instead of Sasha, since Sasha's name has already been dropped in a previous episode description, Prison Break. And I'm putting emphasis on the word could, like I said, and I'll get into that right now. All the episode descriptions following the episode Prison Break don't mention Sasha's name in any of the synopsises whatsoever, which I find odd because if Anne really did find her in Prison Break, then shouldn't she be involved in some type of way in at least one of these later episodes? Well, what I'm thinking right now is that the episode Prison Break could be an episode that's completely focused on Sasha the entire time, and it shows how she ended up in prison in the first place and how she eventually escapes at the end of the episode. And she actually ends up being the friend Anne reunites with in Reunion rather than Marcy. I mean, either way, I'll be happy as long as I see Ian and reunite with at least one of them before the end of the season. You know, that's just gonna be really cool to see. But the question still remains, what can the Calamity Box do that could cause the destruction of all frogs, and why did Hop Hop lie about knowing about it? I have faith in Hop Hop's character and highly doubt they'll turn him into a villain. He definitely gives off a kind of Grunkle Stan vibe at the end of the episode where you think he might be plotting something, but he's just trying to protect the family and it's, you know, a greater good type of thing. Maybe he figures the less they know about how the box works, the less likely it'll be, you know, used for dangerous measures, and they won't be put into danger either. You know, just like I said, lying about it for the potential greater good. My apologies if this video felt a little all over the place, but I felt like certain things needed to be explained with my point of view so you guys could get a better idea of how I think things will unfold when it comes to the usage of the Calamity Box and the 3 girls getting home. My buddy Kevin from the Roundtable theorized all 3 of them could potentially be going home in the episode Reunion, but I personally find that a tad hard to believe, considering the synopsises of the episodes following Prison Break and Sasha not being involved with Anne whatsoever in any of these synopsises. And I feel like if she was getting broken out, if Anne was the one breaking her out, then wouldn't she be involved at least one of these episodes? Like, I don't know. It just seems odd to me. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Calamity Box and how it's going to be used in the future, as well as what you think is going to occur by the end of the Season 1. I would love to know your thoughts. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out, take care, bye-bye.